how would you describe the process by which you are aging? Do you think you're doing a good job? Do you think you're healthy or unhealthy? What are the major factors in healthy aging? How do we measure them? Can we measure them? And what can we do about them? Well, this week we're going to review the 10 major factors for evaluating your aging process. We're going to discuss what factors in your life that you can modify to avoid unhealthy aging, and what assessments and treatments and treatment tools that clinical nutritionists like me use to determine your health and aging status. So we're going to go into that in great detail. We're going to ask you, as I said, 60 questions over the course of the week to help you determine whether or not you are in the midst of a healthy aging process. Pretty important. Now, let me tell you what the 10 modifiable risk factors are for unhealthy aging. What are the 10 factors we have to pay attention to when we talk to a person about their aging process? 10 factors. That's a lot of factors considering the physiology of aging. A lot of things have to go right in order for you to be healthy. Not too many things have to go wrong for you to be unhealthy. Here are these factors, and then we're going to discuss them one at a time, and it's going to take an entire week to do that. Number one, and these are not in any sequence of importance. Number one, impaired mitochondrial function. What does that mean? We'll explain it. Number two, impaired digestion and absorption of your foods. That makes sense, right? Number three, a category called dysglycemia. Do you have normal blood sugar, or is your blood sugar too high or too low? Number four, chronic inflammation. Do you have a sustained chronic inflammation in your body, which you might not even know? What are the factors that are going to help us determine whether you do have inflammation, and what can we do about it, and how do we measure it? Number five, imbalanced methylation reactions. Now, the methylation is a very complex biological transaction, and basically it involves some very important chemical processes. Most hormones and enzymes depend upon methylation reactions in your body. Without them, you're not going to have a very healthy aging process. Melatonin gets created from serotonin by methylation. Glutathione gets created from methionine by methylation. Are you a successful methylator? That is factor number five. Factor number six, are you detoxifying normally, or is there what we call impaired detoxification capacity? Impaired detoxification capacity. Number seven, immune function. Do you have good immune function or poor immune function? Number eight, chronic stress response. Is your life full of stress and the consequences of prolonged stress? Number nine, hormonal imbalance. Are your hormones in or out of sync with each other? And number 10, poor brain power. Every one of those requires conversation and questions. If you can do nicely on all of those 10, you're going to have very healthy aging. If you are failing in certain areas, you are going to have unhealthy aging process. And all of these factors in these 10 categories are what we call modifiable, meaning you've got something to say about them. You've got something to say about digestion and absorption and mitochondrial function and blood sugar levels and levels of inflammation and brain power. You've got something to say. You've got to vote by what you eat, by your activities, by your headset, your mental set, all of that. So we're going to get into this in great detail. It's going to take an entire week to do it. And let's start right now with impaired mitochondrial function. This will be our number one category for today. Now, if you can, I want you to take notes. If you're in a place at home or at work where you can sit down and take a few notes, that's great. We're going to try to get these up on the website by the end of the week. We might have trouble doing that, so we're way behind schedule on the website, but we're going to try to do that for you. Here we go. Impaired mitochondrial function. I'm going to ask you 6 questions. Yes or no. Now remember, the mitochondria are those organelles that are in every cell in your body. We've got millions and millions of mitochondria. If we took them all out of your body and weighed them, it would be about 15, 20 pounds. And all of these mitochondria do is responsibility is to generate energy for you. Every bit of energy comes from mitochondrial function. The genesis, the synthesis of something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. That's the dollar bill or the $20 bill or the $100 bill. That's the energy currency in your body. ATP. And it comes from mitochondrial function. Therefore, you don't want it impaired. You don't want to be shortchanged. You don't want to go to that machine and put your card in and it says you got no balance. That's not good with mitochondria. It's not good with money either. So here are the 6 questions that are going to let you know whether or not you might have impaired mitochondrial function. Question number 1. Are you frequently tired? These are all yes or no questions. Are you frequently tired? Yes or no? Number 2, do you have stiff and sore muscles that are not due to exercise? You feel kind of stiff and sore like you've been exercising, but heaven knows you haven't been. You have been exercising, but yet why do your muscles feel like you've been exercising? Number 3, do you have, in general, poor stamina? You experience shortness of breath, you're exhausted, especially exhausted if you should do some exercise. So why is your stamina so low? Number 4, do you exercise less than 2 hours a week? Come on, yes or no? Number 5, have you ever been diagnosed with having low iron? For example, do you have heavy menstrual flow? That might lead to it. So have you ever been told by your doctor that you have low iron, men and women? And number 6, do you think, honestly, when you look in the mirror, do you think you look old for your age? Yes or no? So here we go again. Here are the 6 mitochondrial questions. Yes or no answers. Remember, mitochondria generate the energy of your body. Number 1, are you frequently tired? Number 2, do you have stiff and sore muscles not due to exercise? You're just stiff and sore all the time. Number 3, do you have poor stamina? You just can't, go for very long without being really tired. Number 4, do you exercise less than 2 hours a week? Have you ever been diagnosed with low iron? And number 6, do you look old for your age? Answer yes or no.